Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Coffee and Headlines, our daily get together live here on Facebook every day at 9. No, that's not true. We're not on at 9. We're on at 10:30. And we get together to exchange news and headlines and topics and comments and suggestions and tips and ideas on how to best take advantage of living in Puerto Vallarta as full-time English-speaking locals, and also as a place for many people that visit on a regular basis to find information about what's new and what's going on here in this city we love to call home. It is a pleasure getting together with you every single day, and it is a pleasure to welcome new folks into our little cluster. So if you are new and joining us for the first time, feel free to write the word new in your comments, and we'll be so very happy to give you a proper welcome. Also, if you have any important questions that you want to address during the broadcast, please add the letter Q, and we will be happy to make sure that we don't miss those. Or if we happen to miss them, I will take care of them right after the broadcast. So it's great to see you, all of you. It's great to see many friends that visit us on a regular basis, such as our dear friend Michael, who's a resident opera singer who's coming to Mexico, and he's going to sing unexpected opera songs for everybody. And I have a new suggestion for you, my dear Michael, but I don't know if you know it. Well, I'm going to wait a day because I need to find the lyrics, because I just had this epiphany last night. I'm like, oh my God, Michael should sing this. But before I suggest it, I have to learn it myself. So I'm going to look for the lyrics, and I'll let you know what it is tomorrow or the day after. I promise. Let's see. ¿Qué onda, Alan Shepard? I like it because Alan always says really cheerful hellos to me. ¿Qué onda, Paco? That's a very common way to say hello to someone. Very friendly. Love it. Thanks for the tip, Den, from visiting Artisan Bakery and purchasing some bread from them. Again, we'd love to support the local vendors, and especially vendors that take their time to be part of this Coffee and Headlines community. This is always lovely. Anyhow, we have all kinds of... Oh, congratulations, Carol. You just picked up your residency cards. That's wonderful. Terrific. We have a lot of news today having to do with vaccines. We're going to talk a lot about that today. Hello to Gina. I haven't forgotten that we have a little date in here in Puerto Vallarta during the month of December. As you know, Gina is a flight attendant, and she and I have decided we're going to get together and exchange some information about what it's like to be a flight attendant in this age of COVID-19. And of course, she has her heart in Puerto Vallarta. She spends a lot of time here. So Gina, I've been looking forward to sitting down with you. Oh dear. See what you've created, Luna. You've created all kinds of see, she's not even paying attention. Sweetie, you're being invoked on television. Here, let me help you. There you go. Yes, don't act so surprised. People want to meet you. There you go. Is that better? Are you on camera? There you go. Now Luna's on camera. Now steal the attention for me, please. Thank you. Let's see. Michael's dying of curiosity. Good. This is wonderful. Are you taking time off at Christmas? What a great question, Joe. Somebody asked me this the other day. This is Coffee and Headlines going to broadcast on Christmas Day and on New Year's Day? The answer is, Joe, I don't celebrate Christmas and I don't celebrate New Year's. Um, do you really want to hear this? I don't want to bore you with a personal story. Oh, well, I'm going to go there because if you don't want me to go there, you'll just tell me to stop. But, when I used to be the managing editor of Vallarta Lifestyles magazine, because our winter spring issue came out in February, we were always doing the production of the magazine during the last week of December. So, whereas we were constantly surrounded by people that were here to celebrate and have a really great time during Christmas and New Year's, that week used to be traditionally the busiest week. Oh, Luna, even I am staring at you now. What are you doing? Anyhow, that week used to be the busiest week of the year. So I got into the habit of not making a big deal out of Christmas and New Year's. So chances are I'm going to be here because I can. I don't mind it. Unless somebody says to me, no, 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 we're not going to watch. And then I may actually take some time off. The day that is really important to me, the day in which I'm really happy and sad and all confused with emotion, is December 27, because that's the day in which I started my life in Puerto Vallarta. And this would be the first time ever in which Coffee and Headlines broadcasts on that particular day, which is honestly more important to me. So I'll be a mess that day. I'll be totally happy and I'll be totally melancholic and whatnot. But that'll happen then, not now. Let me continue with your questions. Boom, bidim, bum, 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 bum. Oh no, Christie's flight was canceled, but that's a nice place to be put up. I hope you're not missing some appointments when at home, wherever you had to be. But the Marriott is a nice property. Seriously, I hope you can get home soon, because I'm sure that being on standby is not a comfortable thing. Let's see. Thank you for the remarks on the walk of the Rio Quale, Carol. Everything seems to be everything seems to indicate that we'll be there sometime in the very near future. Shirley says that she was a part of the Pfizer vaccine study. This is good to know because we have news about the Pfizer vaccine, which I'm going to share in a second. Let's see. Luna, you always end up facing your rump at the camera. I don't understand why you do that. Let me see. Luna Cam is most interesting, says Michael Evans. Next time, I'm just going to put Luna and I'm going to be cleaning the house. No, I'm just kidding. Anyhow, I think we're all caught up with your comments. Let us get started with the news now. And Luna, I hope you don't mind. You're stealing camera from me, but I'll let you come back to the camera if you stick around. Let us get started with our news for today. Well, the news is that Mexico has struck a deal with Pfizer to receive 34.4 million vaccines for the COVID-19 virus. Of those 34.4 million vaccines, 250,000 doses are expected to come to Mexico this month, the month of December, to protect the medical personnel, which will be the first people that will receive the vaccine. In other news, we find out that this vaccine will be completely free in Mexico. And of course, as I mentioned before, the first vaccines will be distributed among the people that are working the front lines for all the health workers and such, as is commonly being done in other countries. The authorities have made a very important call to make sure that you do not fall under some kind of scam of people saying to you, this is the vaccine, you should take it. The government is going to be very clear as to what the policies and procedures will be to receiving the vaccine. And I've read in a couple of sources that Mexico President Andrés Manuel López Obrador will publicize those policies this coming Tuesday. So this is all good news. As we know, the vaccine has been authorized in England, and they anticipate that it is going to be distributed shortly. It is also expected to be authorized in the United States during this month, and obviously in Mexico, so that we can start, so that it can be distributed. This other headline, though, says that the COVID 19 cases, are not expected to come down right after the first vaccination campaigns, because what the World Health Organization has warned is that it is all going to start with the groups of people that are at risk. So it'll be just another tool at our disposal to try to stop the transmission of the virus, but it'll certainly not be the end. And even though I'm explaining this article very briefly, it makes sense to me. I mean, it's not like we're going to get, pardon the pun, it's not like we're going to get a little prick and all of a sudden it is going to be over. In fact, it might even become more complicated, because if you see people walking down the street that are not wearing a face mask, then you'll start wondering, well, is it because they've been vaccinated, or is it because they're irresponsible? So it's going to be tricky for a while. It's going to be tricky, but at least I hope to believe that we are heading in the right direction, because these are my vaccination news and they are important. No, I have a few other news items that have to do with COVID, so I might as well get all the COVID stuff out of the way. In an interesting result of a study conducted in the Imperial, or maybe the Royal University of London, we learned that Mexico is among the countries with highest number of people wearing face masks voluntarily. Isn't that amazing? I mean, as much as we love to, well, not that we'd love to, but as much as we complain or comment on the fact that so many people seem to not be wearing face masks around us, this study shared by Hugo Lopez Gatel says the opposite, that Mexico is among the countries where face masks are worn the most. And I figured, well, wait a second, what is this study about? Where is this coming from? So I went looking for the study and I found it. It is an entire PowerPoint presentation full of fascinating information from all over the world. Actually, I haven't had a chance to dive into it in detail, but this is a study on global behaviors around face mask use around the country. And of course, it's very nicely presented, it's very nicely researched, and it's very complex and comprehensive in terms of their graphs and charts as to how different countries are reacting to this whole habit of wearing a face mask. So I'm going to leave this with you so that you can dive into all these interesting questions and how people are responding around the world. Moving on to other news, and I see that some questions are coming up here in the comments. I'll get to your questions in 1 second. Moving right along, we learned from our governor, Enrique Alfaro, that it is expected that schools will open in the state of Jalisco as soon as the 25th of January. Governor Enrique Alfaro indicated that if things continue to look as they are right now, schools will open in January. The decision to send your children to school or not will be optional. Parents will be expected to make that decision on their own, which would lead me to believe that even though schools will open, some kind of online option will continue to be available for those parents that feel reluctant to send their kids to school. So if you have children and they're in age to go to school, this is what's going on in our state right now. Then there's this interesting news coming from the state of Tepic, more specifically, the city of Tepic and Banderas Bay, the municipality, Bahía de Banderas. Apparently, the government of Nayarit is trying to um, send a law to their Congress in which the use of face masks would become obligatory and will be eligible to sanctions and fines if you're not wearing one. This is still not a law, but it apparently this is something that the government wants to, the government of Nayarit wants to enforce. Needless to say, that because the application of this law would be per municipality, they're only looking to apply this in Tepic and Bahia de Banderas right now, while the remainder 18 municipalities could implement this as early as next month. So we'll keep an eye on this, of course, because Nuevo Vallarta and all these communities that are so close to us, we're going to see how things may change for all the communities in Bahia de Banderas as they are expected to wear the face mask all the time. And they could be fined as much as 1,700 pesos if they are not wearing the face mask. But of course, this article says that this would be negotiable, not negotiable in a bribe kind of way. What they're trying to do is all the legislators are trying to come up with what they consider should be the right amount of money to fine someone. And of course, the article also indicates something to the effect that policemen or authorities that are talking to people are expected to first negotiate with people, and if people are not willing to put their face mask on, then they would be fined. Let's see what's coming up. And then up. Okay, let me give you one more COVID-19 news, and then I'll look at your comments. This is in English, and it comes from the CDC. The CDC shortens recommended quarantine periods for coronavirus, indicating that with a negative test and no symptoms, people can cut quarantine down to 7 days. The details are located in this article, which again I haven't had a chance to read, but I put it aside because I thought you might find it interesting. Let me take a short pause here and take a look at your comments and questions just to make sure that we're covering all bases. Oh, Luna, see, you got all these comments from all these lovely people. I knew it. Whenever my ratings start coming down, I'll just put Luna on the screen. Just kidding. Let's see. Beach Crossers is open 24/7. People always need a wheelchair. That's great to know. That is great to know. And yes, Luna is sending you love by showing her butt. I tried doing that once, but my butt is so flat that people just didn't seem to appreciate that I was loving them. Oh, dear, dear, dear. Jaime says, like hell, if I would take the Russian vaccine, if that had been the case, we would have flown up to the US to get it. Well, that's entirely your call, Jaime. I hope to hold on to the notion that, I understand where you're coming from, but I wish to believe that scientists know no borders, and I could be totally naive in that regard, but I respect your choice completely. Alan asks, how can my naturalized esposa acquire her dual citizenship? Best options. Alan, if I was a lawyer, I might have some answers for you, but I am not a lawyer. My suggestion to you would just be to go to the Naturalization and Immigration Office or look at the website, and you may find some information there. Or if there's someone here in the community that has been under those circumstances, you may be able to get some information to that effect. Another one. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. Celeste says, would it be okay for me to share some info to help my young friend in Sayulita who's struggling financially because of COVID? He does hula hooping classes 3 times a week and would likely put together a class just for the folks here. Social distancing, FYI. Okay. I don't see any problem with that, Celeste, because by the simple fact that you already put it there, it is there. My suggestion to you would be whenever your friend puts together some kind of Facebook event or Facebook notice or something that can be promoted, By all means, please feel free to share it. And if there's somebody that wishes to participate in these classes, I am sure this will happen. Thank you very much for sharing that. Boom, ba pam 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 pam. Oh, I am so with you on that, Michael. But look at me, I'm still scrungy this morning. um, let's see what else. Let's see what else. Shirley says, oh, more details from Shirley. I'm in the Pfizer vaccine study, left PV on 11/20 and tested positive. I wore an N95 mask the entire 3 weeks. I am without symptoms. The vaccine is supposed to limit the symptoms, not necessarily eliminate. That's good to know. Thank you very much for that. Cuarentena where Mexico doesn't have it right. I'm not sure that I follow that, Angelica, and because it has a Q, I think it was addressed to me. If you can explain what you mean by your comment, I'll be happy to elaborate. Let's see. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum. Well, this is what happens, Sherry. I live by myself. Luna is not much of a laugher. I mean, she laughs every now and then, but I mean, when I make jokes, it's not like she finds me laughable. But if you are not able to laugh at your own self, what are you going to laugh about? Anyhow, let me continue with news. I love the fact that you're so engaged this morning, all 167 of you. It's great to see you. But we have more things to cover. The United Nations finally recognized the medical properties of cannabis officially. This just happened yesterday, where they voted uh, to put cannabis officially in the list of drugs that have medical properties. So this is good news. This does not change anyhow the legality of it in the world, and certainly not in Mexico. But to know that the United Nations now acknowledges officially that cannabis has medical properties, this has got to mean something, or at least that's what I hope to believe. And one more bit of formal news, because we just love to hate these people. We might as well talk about them. This is about the White Party organizer, the people that have been organizing those parties here at Mantamar and so forth and so on. They're catching U.S. headlines again because, of course, they are canceling their parties north of the border, but they're not canceling their parties down here in Puerto Vallarta. This article tells us about how White Party founder Jeffrey Sanker announced White Party events in Palm Springs, but they were canceled, and yet they just had a Thanksgiving party here in Puerto Vallarta, and they're going to have another party here in Puerto Vallarta for New Year's Eve. The source of the article has reached out for the White Party for comment, and the White Party has not commented back. So, what do we do about that? Well, we can continue to be shaming, or we can continue to focus on ourselves. And needless to say, we can choose not to go to these parties. I mean, it's plain and simple. This happens to all of us. We have the choice of going places where we feel comfortable, and we have the choice of turning around from places where we feel uncomfortable or unsafe, or where sanitary measures are not being followed. And of course, this is a personal choice. Let me switch over to the leisure stuff, starting with the weather. It's 25 degrees Celsius again. It's getting cooler every day. It feels like 27 degrees, 77 degrees Fahrenheit, and we have a humidity of 68% presently. Today is a perfect day to get revenge on the bully who picked on you in fourth grade, says our snarky weatherman. And we also learned that it's going to be humid through the day with a high temperature of 28. Possible light rain until the evening tomorrow, Friday. Interesting to see rain this time of year. And of course, Saturday will be humid and mostly cloudy through the day with a high temperature of 27. Let me turn back to some leisurely headlines that I have sitting here for you before I continue with your comments. Oh, I want to let you know that my dear friend Julie Guerrero contacted me yesterday. Julie Guerrero, as you know, is the owner of No Way Jose, a very traditional, very popular Mexican restaurant here in Puerto Vallarta. And she got in touch with me to let me know of this unique, one of a kind, not to be missed gypsy flamenco night that they're going to celebrate on Saturday night. This is going to be going on at No Way Jose, starting at 7:30 in the evening, featuring live music performed by Eduardo León, Juan Manuel Ramírez Oliveros, and Ignacio Delgado Flores, all of them very accomplished guitarists. And Sol Maria Uribe, who's a local flamenco dancer, is also going to be dancing, and all this um, wonderful event is available to you for only a 200 peso cover. And of course, they will have their regular menu, and they will also have a three-course menu available, specially prepared for the occasion. So if you want to go to No Way Jose this coming Saturday and enjoy some live music, you know, of course, that No Way Jose is an al fresco restaurant. Everything is outdoors, so this might be an option for you if you're feeling in the mood. Before I give you my last two headlines because they're connected, let me take a quick look at whatever comments you may have in this final segment. Let's see. Let's see. Will full-time residents of Vallarta who are U.S. citizens be eligible for Mexico government-free COVID-19 vaccines in the near future? Asks Eleanor Prower. I am sure this question will come up, and I am sure it will be addressed by all the consuls and the Mexican ambassador, the U.S. ambassador in Mexico. As soon as we have specific information for people that fall under that category, Eleanor will be so very happy to share the information. And I suspect this will be part of the politics and policies that President Andres Manuel López Obrador will announce this coming Tuesday. And Michael gives us the bottom line. There are millions of infected people. It's going to take time to make society safe. Absolutely. Let's see. Never seen a cat laugh. Well, I think Luna giggles in her own way. uh, I was talking about having quarantine in Mexico. Maybe you misunderstood. Maybe I didn't express myself clearly. Mexico quarantining. I was not referring to any kind of obligatory quarantine or curfew. I don't think we're going to head back in that direction in any way, shape, or form. And in fact, I caught a headline in English somewhere in which Andres Manuel López Obrador was interviewed by, it was an English-speaking news item that I saw in Yahoo, saying that our president considers the whole idea of quarantining by force as an authoritarian measure and very much against that. And Terry complements that notion by saying, no, we don't have any mandatory quarantine. What is becoming mandatory in some states is the application and the having to wear the face mask if you go out and about. And what we were talking about just a few minutes ago was the fact that the city of Tepic and the municipality of Bahia de Banderas may very well enforce this obligatory measure during the month of December. We are still waiting to see what is going on with that. Let's see. Is that the white nationalist party? Doesn't sound like fun, says Sean O'Brien. Well, yeah, I don't know what to tell you. You know, all we can do here is report what we hear and what we see and what we know. And all we can do is to encourage all of us to just practice common sense and listen to our own inner gut if we think that we're going to be in a place where we feel unsafe. Logan is going to be attending. Ole, I love it. Um, oh, thank you very much for that tip, Terry. This might be an interesting place to go and check out. Uh, and there's a question here. Can you send me the report that the IMSS is going to be available free to all Mexican citizens? Tony, that is in the show notes from yesterday's broadcast. If you go back and take a look at it, I think you will find the information there. And then we have a nice little comment about if Dolly Parton. I love Dolly Parton. Breen Brown interviewed her, was one of the best interviews I've heard. I will definitely go looking for that, Kathleen. Thank you very much. And my last news items for today are going to be an editorial nature because yesterday I hinted at the fact that Luna wanted to go put monoliths in Sayul in where did you want to put monoliths, Luna? I don't remember where you wanted to go. You wanted to go to Yelapa, I think. What did you say yesterday? You want to take the monolith to Yelapa. No, well, that's not going to happen, honey, because somebody beat you to it and put another monolith in California. I mean, what's up with these monoliths? Monoliths. I think it's Nike or some crazy American company trying to do these things, where if you have been watching international news, a chingadera that looks like this appeared in some national park in the United States, and then another one appeared in a European country, and then this one appeared where? In California. And then this other monolith, which has nothing to do with the previous one, a giant wooden penis, went missing in Germany, and that wasn't me. I just wanted to let you know that it wasn't me, because we were just talking about peni, which would be my own version of plural penises. Peni. We were just talking about them, and I want you to make sure that you know that no, Luna did not go erecting, pun intended, erecting monoliths in Yelapa. And I certainly did not go to Germany only to steal a gigantic cock. So I just wanted to put that out there in case you were wondering about our integrity. And that, my dears, that is the end. That's the end of our broadcast for today. Monoliths are phallic symbols, says Alan. I don't know if it's there, if I'm feeling a little bit of an appetite this morning. Maybe I need to have breakfast. That's what I need to do. I think you guys are absolutely wonderful to put up with me, especially when I say the word chingadera. And I love when I have a chance to say chingadera because it's one of those words that just feels so comfortable in your mouth and it just comes down from your lips. And it's just because we're surrounded by chingaderas. Let me take a quick look at your final comments before I let you go. I am so grateful that you're here. Boom, ba pam 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 pam. Logan says first spotted in southern Utah, then in Romania, and now in California. I think we're being invaded by monoliths that transform into. I don't know. I don't even want to think about monoliths that are invading. Love the wood penis. That makes two of us. I love a good. Never mind. I'm just not gonna go there. I think we should end the program. It is so much fun to hang out with you guys, and it is so much fun that you choose to hang out with Luna and yours truly. I thank you very much for your participation in this community because it is you who nurture it. It is you with your conversation and your suggestions. It is you who keeps it vibrant, and it is you who keeps it friendly and welcoming. And thanks to you, I look forward to coming back every single morning. So consider yourselves appreciated. Consider yourselves hugged safely. Do the elbow dance. And I will hope to see you sometime in the near future. Between now and then, please stay kind, stay happy, stay safe, and stay in touch. Have a great day. Say